Boy, love dub motherfuckers. What is going on, everyone? It is I. It is everyone's favorite jack of all trades, with the foul mouth, common urban. And thank you for tuning in to this special video, guys. This is a tribute, a special 113th anniversary tribute to the RMS Titanic, because today is April 15th of 2015, and earlier this morning at 2:20 a.m., after almost 2.5 hours on the surface, fighting for her life after striking an iceberg at 1:45 on the 14th of April, 11/4 to be exact, the RMS Titanic was slipped beneath the waves with the loss of 1,496 lives. That were men, women, crew, and children. And so, what is it about the Titanic that's so fascinating that we still hang on to it? Well, there's a lot of things. And before I do fucking start, I do know of the new documentary that just recently came out. Some more information came to surface about the last final hours and last moments of the Titanic. And it's a documentary by National Geographic, and it's on Disney Plus. So I'm gonna fucking watch it when I do have a chance. I have not fucking watched it yet. So if any of y'all are saying, "Oh, did you see the new theory or the new documentary about how the ship actually sank in the shit and the 3D scans?" Fuck no, I have not seen it yet, but I'm going to watch it. I've been so busy with other shit, including, like I said, I've been doing reviews of books and been doing videos on the SS United States. I've been trying to spread the word to everyone to help save the ship and stuff, but let's not talk about that. We're going to talk about the Titanic. As you guys probably know, the RMS Titanic is the second of 3 ships built for the White Star Line. She was built by Harland Wolff of Belfast, Northern Ireland, along with her other 2 sisters, the Olympic, and then later on the Britannic, which originally was supposed to be gigantic. She was launched of May of 1911, and she entered transatlantic service April the 10th of 1912. She was over 46,000 gross tons, 882.5 feet long by 93 feet wide, and on the bottom of the keel to the top of her funnel, she was 175 foot high, and she expanded multiple decks, and she was called a Millionaire's Palace, the Millionaire Special, and she was captained by Edward John Smith, which was known as the Millionaire's Captain. And on this crossing, this was supposed to have been his final voyage, but there has been speculation that after the Titanic entered service, he was going to be her captain for a little while until the last of the 3 giants entered service, which would have been gigantic or Britannic. Had that have happened, he probably would have captained with Britannic, and then that would have been his last command. At least that's from what I've read in some recent things I read. She carried the creme de la creme of society in first class, and she carried normal working class people in second class, and she carried humble migrants in third class wanting to go to the New World. And then, like, her passenger list was a who's who. You know, Benjamin Guggenheim and John Jacob Astor, and you know, there was Major Archibald Butt. He was a military aide to President Taft. And of course, you had Macy's co-owner Isidore Straus with his wife Ida on board. And it was just, like I said, like a who's who. And of course, the ship left Southampton on the 10th at noon, but she was almost didn't make it out of the fucking harbor because of because of a near incident that she had with the passenger liner the SS New York. But she was several hours late. She got to Cherbourg later that night, picked up more passengers, and the next day, off the coast of Ireland, she picked up her last batch of passengers from Queenstown, Ireland, and which now today is Cobh, and she went out to the open North Atlantic. So, and everyone knows that pretty much the story of the ship had several days of fine sailing and smooth seas and clear skies, and of course on the day of the 14th, as the day wore on, it got colder outside, which was an indicator that yes, ice was around. And that day they got multiple iceberg warnings, including 2. Had they actually been, received in time or been given to the bridge, Titanic probably wouldn't have sank. One was from the German liner America, which was sending messages to the hydrophonic office in North America, which actually stated there was multiple large icebergs right directly in the head of the Titanic's path. And later that night, the Leyland cargo liner California, which was stopped by ice, sent a warning to Titanic, specifically saying there was ice ahead of his path, but because of the wireless being broken down the night before, Jack Phillips and Harold Bryan, which were the 2 men operating the wireless, they had fixed it. They were trying to catch up on passenger traffic. Jack Phillips basically told him, "Shut up, old man, I'm working Cape Race." And so the wireless operator Californian, Cecil Evans, went to sleep. So, and had they gotten that message to the crew, you never know, there could have been. But being the 15th of April, 113 years ago today, this massive ship sank with a large loss of life. But it wasn't the largest loss of life ever recorded on a shipping accident. There's been other ships that sank with a hell of a lot more people on board with worse death tolls. But why is the Titanic something that we all still fucking remember? I can tell you why we still fucking remember it. Because it's like Walter Lord had once said, it was like the perfect story. It's like if a novel writer was to write the perfect story of the biggest ship in the world on her maiden voyage with all the who's who of society, sailing from England in the middle of April, and ice warnings abound. The ship doesn't slow down, it keeps going. The ship hits an iceberg and slowly sinks with all the stuff that act out on board. And then you have a lot of people that die, and then you have people that survive. It sounds like the perfect story, but you wouldn't think it happened. It sounds too fucking crazy to be true. It sounds like bullshit. But it did happen. And it actually, someone wrote that before it happened 14 years prior. Morgan Robertson wrote the book Fatality, or The Wreck of the Titan, which actually outlined the sinking of the Titanic almost to the fucking T. And he wrote that 14 years before the Titanic even set sailed. Do you call that foresight or forethought? Or did he have a vision of this shit happening? Who the hell knows? Like what Walter Lord said, it was the perfect story of human disaster and tragedy, and it enthralls you once you read it. And that's why people are so obsessed about the Titanic. And of course James Cameron really did help with his movie in 1997, and of course for me, it was the legendary Ken Marshall and his amazing fucking paintings. Which, by the way, if you ever see this Mr. Marshall, big fan of your paintings, I fucking love them. I read somewhere you do commission work and shit. I would love to see if you would do a painting for me of the SS United States, but I'm going off fucking topic here again. But I think the reason why we remember the Titanic and commemorate her every year is, like I said, it was the perfect tragic story that should have never happened, but it did. And it was full of heroes and full of villains, full of human error and stupidity, and just, and as Jack Thayer Jr. said, it was basically when the modern world woke. The modern world as we know it today had awakened on the 15th of April 1912. The old world died when the Titanic sank. And that's kind of how people look at it. So, before I do this video, whatever you see behind me, I do have my 1/400 scale Titanic that I built. That's an Academy model. Amazing fucking kit. Anyway, before I do end this video, I'm going to just give a kind of a moment of silence and bow our heads and have a silent prayer for everyone on the Titanic, both the survivors and their families, and of course their aunts, their relatives today, and everyone that died on the ship. Amen. So, I just want to say thank you for watching and thank you for listening. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. I'll get back with you. And if you like what I do, I fucking do a little bit of everything. Hit the fucking subscribe button, hit the damn notification bell. Never miss a video from yours truly ever again. And until next time, this is Commodore Urban. Saying a smooth season, clear skies, and happy sailing with you. God bless you all. Take care, stay safe. Be yourselves. Jesus and the good Lord love you all very much. And until next time around, anchors away, motherfuckers. And I'll catch one more trade, one hell anyone knows. And God bless the Titanic and all of her people. And may she rest in peace. Thank you and God bless.